Hello, everybody. This is Paul Thread again. I'm here with my wife, Stephanie, to discuss an interesting money-related topic, which is bike rental in Mexico City. This is something we've tried and failed to do many times in Europe, and I don't remember exactly where. I want to say Sweden was one of those
Mhm.
places,
Yep.
maybe Amsterdam.
Yeah, could have been Amsterdam.
And the issue is always the American credit card doesn't work at the machine. So, you see those rows of the rental bikes. You walk up to the little kiosk machine, you put your card in, it says nope. You put in a different card and it says nope. And then eventually, you just go home. And
You
when we
give
were,
up.
yeah. And when we went to Mexico City last August with our kids, we tried to rent bikes because on Sundays, they close a section of Reforma, which is kind of the Champs Elysees of Mexico City. It's traffic and they allow people to walk or jog or bike or rollerblade or whatever on the street. It's awesome. And of course, our kids wanted to do that, and of course, we let them down again. so, but you were able to do it this on this past trip with just Kelly. So how did you figure that out?
Yeah, so based on our past experience, I didn't have high hopes for this working, but
Right.
what I did is knowing that my credit card was almost certainly not going to work in these machines, I looked online. I looked up some posts online that had
Mm-hmm.
said how you do this exactly. And if you go to the company that does the bike rentals in Mexico City is called ECOBICI.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to their website, you can create an account and you can create an account for a day, a month, or a year
Mm-hmm.
for various prices. So to create an account for a day costs about $4.50
Okay.
US. And you put in your US credit card number. And this time it actually worked. To set up the account, the credit card works fine. I saw people there that same day
Yeah.
trying to put credit cards in the machine and walking away without a bike. So I
Yep.
think it's still the case that setting up the account online works and setting up the account or trying to do it at the machine does not work. So when you set up the account, it's your usual stuff, name, email address, and that kind of thing. And they give you a code number that they generate and
Mm-hmm.
then a pin that you generate. So it makes sense to just, screenshot this thing or
So
have
you
your
can
email
buy, in other words, you
accessible.
bought a day pass,
I
so
bought
to
a day
speak,
pass.
and then,
Mhm.
but not for that day. You could apply it any day. You just get that code.
You could apply it for, I think, the next 5 days from the time you buy it. You can't
Yeah.
buy it for any day forever, but you could
Mm-hmm.
you could use it for, I
Okay,
want to
so
say
you
it was
keep
five
it on
days.
your phone or whatever, and then you
Mhm.
can apply it whenever you're out in the world or
Yep.
want to use it. Okay.
Right. So then when you walk up to the machine, it says, enter your credit card or enter the code. There's a little keypad. You type the code in, you
Hmm.
type your own pin that you created in, and screen pops up and it says, take out the bike in spot number 6. And you
Yeah.
walk down to spot number 6, and there's two little posts at the beginning, at the front of the bike under the handlebars that are attaching it to the thing, and you just lift it up a couple inches and you're good to
Yeah.
go.
That's cool. So you had two codes, one for you and Kelly.
Yeah, we each set up our own account. Kelly set up an account and I set up, we both
Okay.
use the same credit card,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we had two separate accounts.
And do you remember where were you on Reforma roughly when you did this?
We were not far from the Four Seasons
Okay.
because
And
we
then
took an
you,
Uber to the Four Seasons and then we walked down a little way and we
yeah,
saw a
I
bike
saw
rack
that bike.
across the
Yeah.
street and just went to that
And you
one.
went toward Chapultepec, which is the big park. Is that right?
Um, no, well, we first rode away from Chapultepec
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't actually know how long the ride was or how long the street was closed
Sure.
for. So our plan was to ride away from Chapultepec
Mm-hmm.
probably until we got to the end and then turn
Hmm.
around and ride back down to Chapultepec and then ride in the park after that.
Wow,
Uh,
that's very aggressive.
it was very aggressive. And actually after
That's
but the ride's very easy. It's
but
all
it's still
level.
7,500 feet in the air, right? I mean, the high
Yeah.
altitude there makes things that you take for granted that I don't
Hmm.
mean you, anyone takes for granted. Going
Right.
upstairs is a killer, for example.
Hmm.
Very difficult. So you riding the bike was
No, I
not
mean,
bad.
it was Sunday and we had arrived
Hmm.
on Monday. So we had almost a week to adjust to the altitude.
Right.
And you do stop fairly frequently because the cross traffic can cross Reformer. So they'll have people who put up a big banner and kind
Yeah.
of stop
Hmm.
everybody. So you have kind of a lot of rests naturally built in. So, I mean, it's
Right.
definitely not like you know, it's a more of a recreational activity than an exercise activity.
Yeah. Well, It could be, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how you handled it. So you
Yes.
did end up at Chapultepec, I think, at the end, right?
Yeah. So we rode down Reformer. Actually, Reformer's closed for quite a way. So we probably
Yeah.
rode down Reformer for about 30 minutes, and you really kind of get out of all the skyscraper area and into more of a
Hmm.
neighborhood area. Um, and then after about 30 minutes, we thought, well, if we do want to ride around Chapultepec, we should probably turn around. So we turned around and rode back,
Hmm.
and it was, easy, same as before. And then when we got to Chapultepec, we discovered that on nice sunny Sunday mornings in Mexico City, there's a awful lot of pedestrians in Chapultepec Park,
Sure.
and it's not super easy to ride a bike in there. I'm sure there are further, deeper into the park, you can probably find a little bit more space, but it
Hmm.
actually felt a little bit difficult to kind of, dodge people and dogs and strollers and that. So we decided we would walk around the park instead.
Right.
Um, and then it turned out we were not the only people who just had the same
Right.
idea,
Right.
because we went to we looked on Google Maps for a site to put the bikes away,
So
and
in other words, these bike rental locations are on Google Maps. They're
they are in Google
yeah.
Maps. The way we found them was we just said we want to take a bike to
Hmm.
a random destination, and
Okay.
then Google Maps would map it, and it would show you the
The
closest
end point. Yeah. Right.
site to where
Okay.
you were. So we looked that up, and it said there was a little notation in Google Maps that said 23/24.
Hmm.
We didn't know what that meant. So we went over to the bike rack.
Right.
Turns out what that meant is 23 of 24 bikes are available at this location,
Right.
meaning if you
Which
want
is
to put a
great
bike
if
away
you, yeah,
here.
it's great if you want a bike, but it's
Yes.
terrible if you want to leave a bike.
Yes.
Right.
So um, somebody was trying to rent a bike. So
Hmm.
we popped Kelly's bike into the rack. And
Hmm.
then the person who was trying to rent a bike did not succeed. So then we
Probably an
still had
American.
my bike.
Right.
And yeah, um, just ended up walking to the next one, which was like a 6-minute walk. It wasn't a big
Right.
problem. But, now we know when you go to put your bike away, you want to make sure that there is, in fact, a space to put your bike away. I mean, I kind of imagine Chapultepec is a pretty common end destination for a lot of people who
Yeah.
ride bikes in Reforma. So,
How
um,
do you feel about riding bikes around Mexico City in general? I mean, it's one thing for the road to be closed. I wonder if there's any place I'd want to do this, right?
yeah, I
And
feel
in
like
general, I mean,
in general, when there are bike lanes, I
hmm.
feel like I would probably be okay with it, but I want to be really clear about my own knowledge about the route and the destination.
Yeah.
I'd want to go to a place that I had either walked or seen what the whole route
I
is
just
like,
feel like,
and also not to have to map my own way. I want to be able to just go there from memory.
well, I'm more concerned about just it's Mexico City can be very busy, obviously, lots of cars everywhere. Driving is a little crazy. I don't know how safe I'd feel in a busy part of the city. But
Mm-hmm.
then there are quieter areas like
Mm-hmm.
Condesa or Roma Norte. But I don't know Condesa as well, but the streets in Roma Norte are terrible. And
Yeah,
so even
they're
though
really
it's
rough.
it's quieter and probably safer as on a bike, I don't know that I'd feel great about doing that anyway. I feel bad for the cars, like when we're in an Uber,
I know.
it's
Mm-hmm.
dodging potholes, trying to get
Mm-hmm.
through Roma Norte.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's not something I've ruled out, but it's not something that's
yeah,
on my list for the next trip.
we're probably not going to be buying bikes, I think is what we're saying.
No.
Anyway, that's some good advice though, as far as that goes, because if I'm not mistaken, this is possibly the first time in an international destination any one of us got that to
Mhm.
work. I think.
Yes. Yep.
I don't believe we've ever done it before.
No, no, we haven't. So,
Yeah, yeah. So
so,
that's good.
and it was nice. And the bikes were decent quality. They were, I think
Right.
they have 3 gears and it's
Hmm.
flat, so you don't even really need them. They seemed well maintained,
Hmm.
they rode well. So
Nice.
I was happy with the quality of the bikes as well.
Cool. All right. Thank you.